Welcome to the Fragrance Files.
Welcome to the Fragrance Files.
As soon as I got off the airplane, I just went directly to the event space. I couldn't wait. I couldn't like go and drop my bags and wait to get over there. And honestly, walking in, it was such a gorgeous space and it felt like a place where art deserved to live. And I think that's what stood out to me so much about it is it wasn't this sort of sterile open space. It felt alive just from the moment of walking in when there was like three people inside. But it honestly, it was just such a joyous feeling the entire weekend. And just watching the crowd and watching people laughing and running and hugging each other because, they're people that they've only ever seen online or, watching people get teary eyed over fragrances. Just, it moved me so deeply and really is like, this is why this community is so special. It's why we do what we do. And yeah, it was an amazing feeling the entire weekend. I'm still riding a high and it's been a month.
Yeah, to anyone who doesn't know me personally, I am a military kid, so I was the first person in the building on Friday morning. I beat Kyle even to the expo location, and I was part of the volunteer group that was helping do the setup. And being the first person in the room, the lady that worked there let me in, and she was like, "Yeah, no one else is here. You can just hang out." And I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool. This is a gorgeous space. I can already feel the way this is gonna hit." And then, like, as the morning progressed, all of the other volunteers arrived. People were just so excited to be involved. It wasn't even the event yet. People
Yeah.
were like, "Yeah, this is so cool. I would love to help you set up these chairs. I would love to
Yeah.
help you put these tables out." Um, and then talking with Kyle about, let's put the names of the perfumers and the brands on the tables and the flower arrangements. And just that first day before the doors even opened,
Mm.
it felt special.
Yeah.
Um, and then even going into it from like our perspective, I had a little bit of imposter syndrome. And I was like, there's
Really?
all of these cool brands that I love and respect and revere so much. And we're going to
Hmm.
be like the podcasters over in the corner. I did. I had that moment of like in the back of my head, I was like, it's going to be a good weekend, but like, you're not them.
Hmm.
And the first time someone walked up and was like, "You're part of my community now."
It feels so good.
Yeah, Friday night when we met with some of the perfumers at the hotel and stuff, people were like, "I loved the way you guys talked about AI in the industry. I loved the way you talked about ingredient sourcing." I was like, "Oh shit, they like us too."
Yeah.
We're actually, and like, again, something that like we are part of this community, but it's easy to psych yourself out that like you're not
We're-
really.
yeah, we're not perfumers, but
Right. But like
Mm.
the content creators and the people who purchase and the people who talk about it are just as big a part of the community. Um,
Yeah.
and it was just really special.
Yeah. There were, like I said, there was just so much love. After I got done setting up our table, I stuck around and started like filling gift bags. And as the brands were coming in, I mean, some people that I knew, some people that I'd only ever like chit-chatted with or commented on their videos, some of the brands were coming in and they're like, they ran and gave me hugs and were like, "We're so glad that you're the first person that we saw." I'm like, "What? Like, really? Like, you like me?" It felt so good. And I mean, like, going back to the space itself, I think having it in an event space that is meant for celebration is what made this event off the bat feel different because it didn't feel like it didn't have this capitalist feeling like we're here to sell you. It's like, no, we were
Right.
there to celebrate independent fragrances and party together, and party we did.
Well, we'll circle back to that.
Yeah.
For the uninitiated, this is the Fumed episode. We're talking about Fumed Expo
Yeah.
Chicago. Um, and Mishi and I were there as vendors with the Fragrance Files. We had a table, and we did interviews live there with people who were attending. But we also got to experience it.
Yeah.
And I have been to many, many a trade show in my day job, and it's very that rush and that bustle and how many booths can you talk to, how many faces can you see, how many hands can you shake, and you're being sold to. Like you said,
Hmm.
it's very much a buy, buy, buy.
Yeah.
And this was not that.
No.
It was very thoughtful and intentional, and you were not showing up to purchase fragrance. You were being invited in to experience this community, the
Yeah.
independent perfume community.
Exactly.
And I just really loved everyone's attitude, really. The people who were there as vendors were excited to be there. A
Hmm.
lot of people, it was their first event, and maybe
Yeah.
they were a little struck by how many people actually showed up. But it was just like I had never met Elsie in person, and the moment she walked through the doors, she gave me this big hug, and I was like, "Yes," because we just filmed this amazing episode together, but we've also known each other online for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. It felt great to like team up to set all of it up the day before. Like it's like, yeah, these are my people. I love it. We're all a little type A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. To all of the other volunteers that I bossed around, I'm sorry. That's who I am as a person. But we needed to get stuff done, and we
Yeah.
got it done, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Three very take charge kind of people that all vibed really well to do it.
Yeah, again, a military kid. I definitely was like, you two, you're volunteers, right? These chairs, line them out, please. Thank you. Um, and it's just because we care. You know, we were there and we wanted it to be a success. And like I saw that a lot even amongst the other vendors and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
if someone ran out of scent strips, people were like, "Oh, here's some."
Yeah.
And then eventually everyone ran out of scent strips. But
Yeah, there's this incredible sense of or lack of sense of competition. And I think Ali mentioned that when we were chatting Parafat, that everyone was just wanted to help each other succeed. And that's what feels so different about indie is that it's not this cutthroat, don't buy this, buy that kind of thing. It's let's all share our art together. Like there was, you had already left, but there was the last day of the convention. I met up with a bunch of the brands that were there, and we did a little swap on a rooftop overlooking the river in downtown, and like everyone was just so joyous to share with each other. It was beautiful.
I think
Yeah.
that was really the simple question we started with in the interviews was,
Mhm.
what are you most excited about with Fumed?
I think the reason why this event was so important, especially for indie perfumers, is that there really is no event in the US that primarily celebrates them. As a matter of fact, a lot of the major events that happen in America have really priced out the independent perfumer to the point where they can't afford to buy the booths or to rent the booths for those events, so they can't showcase. Like we're talking about people who are in business under a year, some of the people who are attending there. So, they haven't built up the kind of capital to be able to afford a, you know, entry level $10,000 table. And, that doesn't even guarantee that they're going to get a return in that in sales. So it was great to see something that not only made it accessible for the brands to attend, it also made it really accessible for the attendees to attend. I mean, the ticket prices were less than half of any other event ticket price. The space itself was way more accessible for all different kinds of people. There was an elevator, there was food available, there was seating available, there were plenty of bathrooms all over. So everything about the space felt really welcoming to everyone. And the thing is that in an industry where that is, constantly being bought out by venture capital, private equity, that has, several hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars being thrown into these big brands. They have people that they hire specifically to go out to do these conventions for them. Very rarely do you go to events and it's the perfumer themselves there telling you about the fragrance, right? You might get the brand owner, they might make an appearance, but it's not always the perfumers themselves who are in the room. So I think that alone made this experience really interesting because like I can talk to a creative director, I can talk to a brand owner, but I want to know from the perfumer like how is your brain working? So I think getting to know their stories and why they make fragrance and why each of their voices are so important in this industry that is throwing release after release after release at us, and it's all feeling so much the same. Being in a room with people who are breaking those barriers and really challenging what perfume can be was incredibly inspiring to me.
Yeah, I mean, you hit a lot of points there, and I think we hear a lot of those coming up in the interview questions too, where people were saying, "I didn't get this kind of interaction at Scent Explorer. I
Mhm.
didn't get to talk with the people about their inspiration for my favorite perfume from their brand. I didn't get to walk up and say, hello, this is one of my favorite fragrances. It makes me think of my mom," and see the perfumer light up. You
Yeah.
know, that directness was really such a strength
Hmm.
in this space. You also really saw that as people were setting up and going into the day. I kind of noticed the different way each person set up was really interesting. Like
Hmm.
Chris at Cult of Kaori, he was like, "I forgot my tablecloth. This looks awful." And I was like, "Chris, your branding is all black. It's a black table.
Yeah.
This looks
it looks
fine."
it looks fantastic.
And then like Josh at Paraphrase, I guess is very used to like markets and stuff because he was
Hmm.
set up in a flash.
Oh
I
yeah.
like saw him
Yeah.
get to the table. I turned around and I turned back and he had the perfume bottles like sitting up on posts on this big fur cloud, and I was like, "How did you do this? Everyone
his
else is
his
struggling to get scent strips out of an
yeah.
envelope, and you set up a whole table."
His table looked phenomenal. I honestly, a highlight of the weekend for me was getting to know Josh because
Yeah,
I thought that he was so cool and so funny. I don't know if I expected him to be that hilarious in person, but he was such a delight to be around.
yeah. I mean, getting to hang out with Josh was a fun moment, especially because I had interviewed him for Goth Fragrance Dialogues,
Mm.
and I was like, I don't know that he likes me. Like, we had a little bit of a weird energy there. And that's just how he is. He's a great guy. It's just he's got
Yeah,
that very chill energy.
yeah,
And getting to hang out with him, and like we got pizza with him, and he's fantastic.
yeah, yeah. Agreed.
What were some of your favorite interactions at Fumed?
I don't think I had a single bad interaction. Um, Honestly, everyone was just so special. I think getting to see some of the brands that are from New York and seeing them outside of our typical space and watching them in their element, like I'm the one usually selling their fragrances for them in the store. Watching them light up and be so proud and talk about their fragrances, I'm like, I felt like a proud mom. It's like, yes, do it, baby. There was a moment on the first day where I think it was like an hour in, and I saw how insane the crowds were. And I told him, like, I'll be right back. And I ran downstairs with my credit card to buy the two new releases from Cult of Kaori. And I said to him, like, you're gonna sell out. Sell them to me now. And he was like so flustered. He was like, "What? Really? Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, now let's do it." And I had been waiting for these releases for like almost a year. So they were my first purchase. I sort of knew going into the event what I was gonna purchase because a lot of the brands I had experienced before, so I had a game plan. I did go over budget, but not by as much as I thought I would. Yeah. Also, what I really enjoyed is at the end of the last day, I went around and I asked all of as many of the perfumers as I could how the weekend went, why Fumed was so special. And in the few moments of speaking to them before that, they all told me like, I sold out of everything. I didn't expect that. And seeing them so flabbergasted that people wanted to buy their fragrances so much so that they sold them all out, but them getting the experience to really see what their fragrances mean to people, it made me feel so happy for them that this is, I think for everyone, it was very validating that what they're doing is meaningful and people do really love it.
Absolutely. I think the general highlight for me was just the collapsing of the distance between the creator and the audience,
Mm-hmm.
the creator and the consumer. So many cool conversations that I got to be privy to, but also like I had been a fan of Puppet Parfum for a while. I
Yeah.
remember like over a year ago talking to the group about how 100% Magic, it just is one of those perfumes for me where I'm like, that is special.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a brand that I heard many people talk about. And for Puppet to be there in person and interact with people, sell out, and then this was shitty, but I think it shows just their impact that people were buying the bottle and then immediately listing it for like $200 and $300 on Macari.
I know.
That part was shitty. Shame on you
Yeah.
for doing that. But
Yeah.
I think it showed that like even the smallest brands, the nichest ideas are celebrated in the space when you have a community that uplifts the art form. Why don't we hear a little bit from the makers?
Hi there, my name is Noah Virgil. I am the founder and perfumer behind M4 Parfum.
Chris Undy from Cult of Cowrie.
My name is James Caroma. I'm the owner of Caroma's Aromas.
My name is Dave Kern. I'm the co-founder of American Perfumer.
J.K. Robbins of Closet Perfume.
I'm Kelly Jones from Kelly Ann Jones Spirited Fragrance.
This is Samira with House of Ira.
I'm the founder of June 30th.
This is Sid Buffman of Sid Botanica.
I'm Justin Charles, perfumer and founder of Jean Robert.
My name is Joey Rosen. I'm an independent perfumer.
An amazing independent perfumer.
And I'm here at Fumed.
Awesome, welcome.
My favorite part of this weekend has been the energy. The people here are so excited to see all of these brands, and I could not imagine a better curation.
The crowd, the vibes, everything is just super, super, super awesome. And it's so nice to connect again with the community.
My favorite thing about this weekend was the pandemonium. It was very pleasantly pandemonious. It was so busy, so unexpectedly amazing, and everyone who came out made this an astounding event.
Seeing the way that people react to the thing that I've put so much heart and soul into, seeing the way that people receive the fragrances is, I'll never get tired of it.
Connecting with the people.
Such a fantastic experience here. The best part of being here, honestly, is all of the people and all of these brands coming together and honestly helping each other. It's such a community bonding experience with perfumers and brand owners, and the people here are just overwhelmingly just heartfelt, and it's almost emotional.
My favorite thing about Fumed has been spending time with all my beautiful customers and hearing everybody's thoughts about the perfumes here. It's been so much fun.
Meeting you guys. Not just reading comments online, but having real-time moments. I saw people cry, I saw people hug, and I got the best hugs.
The best part about Fume has just been meeting the amazing niche perfume community. I'm so grateful for all the support and for meeting all you, and I've had the best time.
Meeting everyone, the community here. We actually made a joke with someone here being a cult, but it's like a benign, nice cult of great people, engaging people with the most curiosity about every single thing, about every single story.
God, my favorite part about Fumed, honestly, has been that everyone has been willing to listen to me yap about all of my ridiculous perfume thoughts. I'm going through a huge rebrand, and it has been surprising how many people are willing to sit here and listen to me talk about how I chose this color of concrete or why I moved this molecule around. It is a totally unique fragrance expo experience.
Seeing all of the beautiful people who I only see in 2D, in 3D. I know how tall they are. I know how beautiful they are. I learned what their favorite fragrances are. And it's just been really fun to yeah, see all of the perfumers and fragrance enthusiasts in person.
Yeah, all the artists that you get to actually get to know them beyond what is on the screen or behind the fragrance.
My favorite part about this weekend has been meeting all of these wonderful people and coming and getting a chance to talk about how special and how magical the art of perfumery is.
What initially intrigued you about coming to Fumed as a brand?
The vibe of the event just looks so good, and Kyle really, like, he's just a beautiful angel man.
Yeah. It's way bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's like at least 10 times bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah.
Yeah. This is with 2 months, maybe 2.5 months of preparation,
ridiculous.
and what Kyle's been able to pull off. And I think it shows that there is a huge need and desire for this kind of event and an appetite for independent perfumery, which is really, it's a relief to see that
and
the community is big.
Nobody's table is empty.
Yeah.
Everyone is at everything.
Yeah.
It has been the biggest party ever. What a celebration. Thanks everyone for coming, and I have a feeling there's going to be an after party.
Hey, this is Kyle Mott-Cannonberg, the organizer for Fumed Indie Perfume Expo. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out for this. And the best part about Fumed Indie Perfume Expo are the people involved. All of the volunteers, all of the attendees, all of the brands, they all showed up with incredible kindness and extreme respect for one another. And that's what made this expo one of the most pleasurable experiences I've ever had in my entire life.
So we talked a little bit about why indie perfume was important. I think that's kind of the ethos of the Fragrance Files. But the way it showed up at Fumed felt really special to me. Partially because it was created by an indie perfumer that felt like it needed to be there, Kyle of OSM. But also the way people reached in and said, what do you need? Yes, I'll be there. Yes, I'll volunteer. And I think it goes to show that, like, indie perfume isn't a trend and it's not a fad. It is a foundation of this community. And when you really are conscious with your money, really, that's the power we have as a consumer and as a creator, is reviewing and platforming fragrances by independent artists and purchasing things from independent artists. That's where you make a difference. And that's why Fumed felt special to me, is we were making that difference. We were making that conscious choice.
I very much agree. I think it feels like a movement. It doesn't feel like just fragrance. It feels like indie is having the moment that I think for years we've wanted it to have, and people are catching on. And, you know, even the different kinds of people that were there, like there were some very large creators that don't typically review independent fragrances, and they were in the space and exploring along with us. And they were, you know, some people that we would categorize as like frag bros, who were, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way for anybody who's offended by it, but you know, but you know, it just means that you're a straight man that likes fragrance and has a very particular kind of taste. But watching them explore fragrance and watching some of them become emotional over the fragrance, like it felt like we were cracking through something. We were cracking through to people and making them understand, like, this is so much more than you smell good, right? This is the art that we keep talking about in fragrance. And so watching people come to that realization, like, this is going to grow so much larger, you know, beyond Fumed. People are taking notice, and indie is going to have the moment that it deserves.
For sure. I think, you know, I had a great interaction with Paul, Paulie Sense, shout out, where, you know, and I told him this, he came off kind of frag bro-y, and I was like, oh, what kind of interaction am I about to have? And we had this really great conversation. He's a great guy. We now follow each other. And I was like, man, he's somebody that I admittedly would not have approached in the fragrance community due to my own biases. And Fumed managed to to have us a moment to connect and see past any preconceived notions.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. I really like the way he reviews fragrance, and shout out to Polly.
Yeah.
But I think that the other big piece too was that like it showed that indie perfume isn't a monolith.
Yeah.
Every single table had its own perspective and approach, and there was just such a mix of people. There were perfume brands at the event that aren't my style of perfumery, and that's fine. I still was absolutely delighted to talk to them about the stories.
Yeah.
I think the big thing was the kindness.
Yeah.
There was not a bad attitude in the building for the most part.
Yeah.
There was not a bad attitude that mattered in the building. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
And like,
aside from being hangry here and there, everybody
yeah,
was great.
there was one point where I was like, Mishy, I need a goddamn cheeseburger. Outside of that,
yeah.
It just, people were so kind and so open. I really appreciated it. And that was one of my real takeaways, was the amount of people who were like, I just love being here. Like people who don't create content that were like, this felt so good to me being here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But let's hear from what everyone who was attending Fume had to say.
What brought you to Fume today?
I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to smell some perfume, some fragrance.
The fact that it's local. I was excited to try some of the indie brands and some of the brands that I didn't get to smell at Scent Explorer in December.
It's just the range that you get. Like, this is where creativity thrives. People can experiment for the sake of experimentation.
I just think it is an incredible medium to express your personality, express like your story.
I think they're doing something so creative that is what we need to shake up the fragrance industry. I think people are tired of the same kind of profiles over and over and then owned by 3 companies ultimately.
The curiosity and excitement of getting to meet all of these brands, all these creators, the perfumers, those magicians behind every brand.
I do work at a fragrance store on the south side, so we're kind of here exploring what we want to bring in.
I told myself last year, these fragrance conventions, I will be there. Considering this is Chicago, I live here, and they have my very first fragrance convention in Chicago, I had to come.
I'm a jeweler, so like craft is a really big part of my life, and I love getting to explore craft in other capacities.
They just give access and a voice to those who may not have it.
Absolutely.
So it's all about giving voice.
Yeah.
I think it's really important that I think the market is so saturated. I feel like you guys talk a lot about that on your guys' podcast. I think the market is really saturated right now with just big brands, money grabbers, etc. And I think it's so important to have fragrance houses that allow people to express themselves artistically and do something different, because all these perfumes, no shade, but kind of, that I smell like at the department stores, they all smell the same. And like, I was just over at Puppet Perfume, for example, and I just smelled something that smelled like hot iron, and it was the most insane thing I've ever smelled. And I think that just keeping that artistry alive is so important.
What brought me here is just a love for fragrance. I feel like everyone can relate to each other through fragrance.
I'm a longtime perfume lover, a longtime fragrance collector, and I've been looking for a little more community around that.
When I heard that there was going to be an event that was meant for the community of people who are really passionate about independent perfumery, I immediately bought a ticket. As soon as I heard about it, I thought if there was ever an event made for me, this has to be it.
There's so much potential for creativity in many different aspects. Like there's creativity in perfume making, obviously. There's creativity in like what you're doing, and like education. And I feel like above all, and I know this has probably been said, but above all, community, and it's a way to build community. And perfume is a way. If perfume is a way to get community to come together, awesome.
What is your favorite thing you've smelled so far?
Wow, I would have to say closet.
Yes!
closet. I love his earthy, like damp earth vibe.
Yeah.
That like dirty, mossy, like so good. It is like so rich and intimate in like a soulful way. I love it. Love it.
All the upcoming fragrances that perfumers have shared, things that might be dropping this year or things that they're working on that they give us a little look into, especially because I get to hear the whys behind.
Away. It was by Kelly Jones. Okay. It was a Chardigan Express, I think. Chardigan Express. It was like a nice honeydew melon note.
There was one over by Merrill Olfactive, the Fog of Cower, that I'm really excited to try on skin.
American Perfumer has a rhubarb fragrance. I think it's called Rhubarb, My Love. I just smelled that moments ago. I want to say the brand is called Nostos. It just launched. They have a fragrance called Teen. That's passion fruit heavy. I haven't smelled anything that didn't if nothing else, make me think a little bit.
I just bought a fragrance called High Tea that was magic to my spirit. Baby, it smelled like Earl Grey and just a drip of honey in your teacup. It was phenomenal.
Romantics by Sid Botanica.
Yeah, love that one.
And I love something that converts me. I love a perfume where I hate X note, but then it has that note in it and I actually love it. And I'm like, you got me.
Mitty, I can see her from here.
Yeah.
And House of Gatsby,
Yeah,
kind of blew my
yeah.
mind a little bit. And Parfat I was familiar with, but it was really nice to see her here and smell some fragrances I hadn't smelled before. So yeah, those are a few.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really impressed with Domestica. I love the idea of scents that are about home.
Right.
Not, not the unusual, not the strange, but the totally quotidian, homesick with your partner or
The Band-Aid Accord was so interesting
yeah.
to me.
And it's actually I hate this kind of perfume commentary, but I'm it's actually wearable.
Right.
It has some very odd notes, and they all come together into a really quite beautiful composition.
I really enjoyed Call It Kaori.
Yeah.
So I was there yesterday. I actually got a bottle of Black Fountain. I just thought it was really
favorite.
interesting. I don't see a lot of ink notes done in perfume, so I had to get it.
Yeah, I also bought a bottle of that yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you hope people take away from this event outside of a few new bottles of perfume?
Inspiration and new ways of living life. Every day should be a miracle, and every spray should help that happen.
I hope people really get a chance to meet other people, right? To actually connect with people. I think it's been really nice getting to take people from online in person and also get to speak and listen.
The depth and the stories and the meaning behind it, it's not just marketing and it's not just the big brands. It's really people making real stories from the heart.
What do you think an event like Fumed means to the larger perfume community?
I think a lot, especially, we're having so many conversations about consumerism and over-consumption and all of that. So if you can support local, small.
When an event like this happens, you feel a little less weird.
I like that it's a little bit more of a niche, right, with more of the indie perfumes than some of the other perfume events.
This, I think, is the beginning of something so much bigger. I think we're standing at the portal of possibility with indie perfumery.
It's a chance to be with other weirdo schmeardos who are because nobody gets it.
Right.
And something like this compared to a Scent Explorer or something is putting us in touch with the art as opposed to the product.
I just hope that it opens people's eyes in the overall community how intrigued and curious and interested people are to learn more about fragrance and their own sense of smell and olfactory. Yeah.
Everybody knows the designer brands. A lot of people know niche brands. Indie houses get no love. And at the end of the day, these are the people that we need to be hyping up. These are the people that we need to be talking about. This is major. People don't know this until we have conventions like this.
I feel like in an age where we're more and more becoming distanced from each other and from, human art forms because of technology and AI and all of that, it's just so nice to be surrounded by independent creators who there seems to be a story behind every single one of them, like a personal story and history. It's amazing.
The sensory, storytelling of it all and the cultural references, and just to get to see little interactions like Vanya Maria, the perfumer, and her mom are like the cutest ever, and her mom is just like momming her while she's trying to launch her brand, and you would never get that from going to her website, I'm sure.
Right, for sure.
I wound up leaving with way more fragrances than I planned to. I made quite a lot of purchases, and yeah, I mean, I knew I was getting the 2 new Cult of Kaori. I haven't fully reviewed them on my channel yet, but that is coming because these 2 fragrances are very, very, very special to me. Black Fountain and Apricot Kissaru. I wound up wearing Apricot Kissaru the second day because I couldn't wait. But one that was a real big surprise for me was the afters. When I had got to the table, there was only full-size bottles left. I was planning on picking up a travel. She sprayed it on me, Ida, who was incredibly sweet. I walked away, and not even 5 seconds later, I turned around and I immediately bought the full-size bottle. Not only is it gorgeous, but the wear of it is incredible. It feels very much to me like the anti-clean girl fragrance. Like this is messy party girl fragrance, and I love that. It feels like you're doing the walk of shame at sunrise. You had maybe some like honey cocktails the night before. Your lipstick is smeared, your eyeliner is running, your tights are ripped, and you're walking home. Love it so much.
It has an erotic undertone to it that I really enjoyed.
Hell
it is
yeah.
not a fragrance I would wear quite often, but I smelled it and I was like, damn, if you show up with one fragrance and this is the one, kudos.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Great job.
Yeah. And I always wonder about that, like when a brand is premiering, how many fragrances they should come out with. And I think like 2 to 3 is like the sweet spot. But if you're gonna do one, that's the way you do one. You kill it with the packaging. You nail it with the scent. Everything was great. I believe I forgot the name of the perfumer. I believe his Cristobal was his first name. But local to New York, I think. So I definitely want to smell more from him after smelling this one. I also, in the swap, I got Haunted Baby from Puppet, which is exciting because I could not get to that table at all. I got 2 travel sizes from Sid Botanica, and I wound up already upgrading Honey Body to a full-size bottle, but I just really wanted the travel sizes because they're so cute in Art Deco. Kelly Jones had sent me a few of her fragrances before the event, and I had also really fallen in love with the Blanco, I believe it was. So I'm gonna have to go and pick that up from her website because she was sold out again by the time I got down there. I knew I wanted Menu from Feral Parfums. I had smelled this before. She's local. She's in Brooklyn. I picked up a travel size from Paraphrase. I got Burrow, which is a really interesting turmeric fragrance. It's spicy and earthy and delicious. I totally fell in love with that one. I wound up going to Murs the next day and picking up a Bread and Roses from Pear Fat because Allie, again, was sold out by the time I got to her table. So I needed to leave with a Pear Fat for sure. And there's so much more that I came home with, like samples wise, but I haven't pulled them. I came home with samples from Nose of Gatsby, which I really enjoyed, from Domestica, which were really cool. And I picked up a bottle for my husband as a gift, as a thank you for, dealing with me being absent all weekend. I bought him Spellbound from Blackcliff, and I've kind of always wanted a Blackcliff bottle because I just love them. And this one happens to also be perfumed by Chris Undy from Cult of Kaori, and it's a Barbados rum fragrance that my husband is severely denting already. Yeah.
Yeah, didn't walk away with too much. Because I've now set such high standards for what bottles actually enter the cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
But some real standouts and samples that I'm living with to see who will make it. The brand Jean Robert. All 3 of them are just stunning. and I
Yeah.
have not been able to pick which one I'm going to upsize yet.
He's so good.
And just like super sweet. He was so chill to
I
talk
love
to.
Justin.
Yeah, Justin's great. Obviously, like getting to hang out with perfumers that we've interviewed and kind of become friendly with was great. So like chatting with JK from Closet, meeting Zoe
Love JK.
from, yeah, and getting to meet Zoe, and we got to laugh about the time I gave her a bad review on her favorite fragrance. That was great. I know it wasn't available at Fumed, but Chris Undi, if you're listening, you know it. That limited release cedar that's going to come out,
Yeah.
I will buy the first bottle. I will own that bottle.
It's my favorite thing to do, bully Chris Undi.
I will find a way to Philadelphia. I am getting a bottle of that perfume when it becomes available. And let's see, who else? Farrell, I did get a bottle of Spunk. I thought it was just so fun. I love their approach to perfumery. It's really, the word is fun. Like,
Yeah.
their branding is fun, their bottles are fun. The Chippendale cards at the table was fun. And I gifted Spunk to a friend of mine, and it's now like one of his staples to wear.
It's great. Her bottles, I mean, they really. She has a bigger bottle too, but I wanted this one because it's so cute.
It's cute, and it just makes you feel good picking it up, which
Yeah.
is the cornerstone of a lot of perfumery, actually, I think, is in the design. I got to smell Nostos, which they're new on the scene. I hadn't got the chance to interact with their fragrances yet. Mitty, I need to get a discovery set to actually live with them for a little bit,
Yeah.
because it's chaotic in a whole event. And then, yeah, again, Domestica was great. I did only leave with one full bottle, and that was Hot Milk by Hilda Soliani from Mers.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, if you're going to leave with one bottle, it's a great bottle.
Yeah. And then after the fact, I did get some samples from Pumpkin Dandy out of Raleigh or Asheville?
Asheville.
And then I'm doing a swap with Allie from Pear Fat. I'm getting Neon Perot, Knee High, and Rabbit Rabbit.
Hell yeah.
And I'm trading some with her for those three.
I love that. I'm doing a Pear Fat order very soon. I'm just debating on whether I wait for the new release, but there's two other things that I think that I want.
Ooh, which ones?
I want the oh my gosh, hold on. What was the name of it? Was it I'll Never Learn?
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely want I'll Never Learn, and I think I want Neon Perot too.
It was a limited release, though.
Damn it.
Mm-hmm. That's why I was, when Allie said she could send me a baby fat of it, I was like, yeah, okay, good.
All right, maybe I'll wait until Knee High comes out then.
Which is next week.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait to smell like corn and blueberries.
It's beautiful. It is one of the few florals I find myself reaching for, actually.
Wow.
It
love
wears very blueberry floral on me, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
I feel like your skin always pulls out the florals more.
Mm-hmm.
It's because your skin knows you hate florals.
Right. I don't hate them. It's just they're hard for me. Outside of all of the cool perfume that was there, I also have to give a huge shout out to the folks who dropped by our table just to say they enjoyed us. It was so incredibly validating to hear people. I know I mentioned it at the beginning of the episode, say like, you're part of my commute. I look forward to hearing you every Friday. Someone again compared me to Bob Ross. Thank you.
Oh, you're my own personal Bob Ross. I love it.
Yeah, it was really amazing. I was also shocked, and dear listeners, you get to hear me admit that I was wrong. Before we went to Fumed, Mishi was like, should we have merch? Should we have hats? And I said, no. Who would want merch from a podcast talking about perfume? And she said, well, I'm going to get 2 hats just for us so people will see us. And people asked to buy that hat no less than a dozen times.
I told you.
I was wrong. We should have had merch, and we will correct that in the future.
Yes, we will. We will be sure to have something. T-shirts, hats, or actually we're cooking up some other cool ideas that we won't talk about yet, but they are some cool ideas in the works.
Yeah. So yeah, to the audience, thank you. We see your comments on every video, on every episode. We see your reviews. Thank you. Mishi and I have such a passion for this, and it's so validating to hear that you all like what we have to say, but also support our mission to platform and uplift these independent brands.
Yeah, it was. I agree. Thank you all so much because it's really I got emotional at one point. I think it was the Saturday night because I'm like, holy shit, like people are listening to our podcast. Like we're not just talking into the void here, So it's to see people face to face and to know that it's important to them and know that they feel a relief that we're talking about the things that we're talking about. I'm like, like yes. It is very, very validating. And, my heart goes out to all of you. Thank you all so much for listening and listening to my incessant cackling every episode.
And it goes without saying, we're not very much the self-promotion type, but if you are enjoying this on whatever podcast or video platform you're consuming it in, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps with the metrics. It helps us continue to grow this, and it helps us continue to kind of be aspirational about who we're inviting to chat with us. I think we have some really exciting stuff to come.
We do. We have some really exciting guests coming up that I think a lot of people are going to be excited to hear from.
Yeah. And before we round out this episode, we would be remiss not to talk about the reason Fumed happened. Kyle Mockannenberg.
Kyle!
Wow. Just wow. Kyle, what can't you do?
For real.
I had the pleasure of interviewing you in your lab about OSM perfume. We had the pleasure of interviewing you about Fumed early on, but actually seeing you in action and seeing what you managed to pull together and pull off for the community and for the art form.
We are forever grateful to you, Kyle, for putting this together and just uplifting others along with you. And that's really what this is all about. That's how community is built. It's climbing that ladder and reaching your hand down and helping others climb up with you. And I think Kyle is a shining example of that.
I know we don't have firm details on the next Fumed, but I have heard you won't have to wait a full year before the next one. So make sure you are following the Fumed Expo's socials to hear any updates on the event.
Yes, we're hoping for a big announcement soon-ish.
And I think they're only going to get better. For a first event, it had very few hiccups, and we are only going to get better as we continue.
Yes, and we can't wait to continue to be a part of them with Kyle as well and all of our favorite people.
And all of you, because like we said, this is a fantastic community, and thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Thank you guys. I love you.